don't understand. That's interesting. There we can.
If your lawn needs a real turnaround, call topdressing.com today for your free estimate. They'll make your grass look like a golf course for real. Call today and top dress your lawn like the pros with topdressing.com.
Today's vehicles are smarter than ever, but that also means they need more precision than ever. Features like lane assist, collision warning, and adaptive cruise control all rely on cameras, sensors, part of what's called ADAS. And if those systems are even slightly off, they might not work correctly. That's why, after certain repairs, your vehicle will need ADAS calibration. At G&H Tires and Service, they have the ADAS system, so your vehicle's safety features work the way they're supposed to. Don't guess with your safety. G&H Tires and Service. Precision that protects.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call now for your free evaluation and see if multi-unit hair grafting or PRP can restore your hair. Call 904-777-IHRS.
My bald spots are gone. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS is the only clinic in the Southeast to offer all proven solutions to restore your hair and is now offering multi-unit hair grafting. One procedure, more hair.
You've got nothing to lose but more hair. I feel younger, I look younger, and who doesn't want to feel better about themselves?
This year, grow your hair back. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-4477.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
What's this the theme music for again?
I don't know, but it reminded me of like
Love
Pink
this song.
Panther or something, like a mystery, someone tiptoeing through something.
Yeah, it did a
I can
little
see
bit.
that.
you know?
Yeah.
RJ, this is a theme for something.
It's
It's
Luda.
not?
It's Luda.
Maybe that's what
Get
in
back.
my mind it's the theme for.
How
Let's see.
beginning
Let's see if I
sounds
can
like it.
remember my favorite lines in this song. It goes,
Uh-oh.
I hit him. Let's see. I hit him with a left hook. I hit him with a jab, caught him with an uppercut, and kicked him in his ass. I love it. That's one of my favorite. I love that song. That's a great tune by Luda.
I think if we
Yeah.
played it so much leading up to the Players' Championship
that's
that
why,
maybe
yeah.
that's why
Yeah,
it's
but
in
it
my
did sound a
head.
little Pink Panther-ish.
You know what I'm
I mean?
saying? You
Yeah, I
felt
do.
it.
Yeah, I remember that
Like,
show.
dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. But yeah, good for Luda.
I hit him right dead in the jaw.
There you go.
There you go. Is right.
Yep.
All right. Tom McManus, Taylor Dahl, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you and Ludacris also along
And
for the
Luda's
ride.
here. Sure.
Exactly. Y'all
So,
can-
did you watch Tropic Thunder? Because apparently it was in Tropic Thunder.
Oh, okay. I did not.
I didn't either, but I should have
It
said
said it
yes.
was the ending theme song in that movie.
Okay.
Okay. There
Maybe
you go.
I did see it
See, you're
sometime,
onto something.
I was a little different, but I guess maybe this is a
stratosphere somewhere.
Fine. Absolutely. All right. Let's chat a little bit, or let's first hear from James Gladstone, then chat a little bit about it. Obviously, that word consensus has been just populating social media, the airwaves, ever since Friday night when the Jaguars selected Nate Berkacher at 56, the blocking tight end from Texas A&M by way of Nebraska. Most people thought he was picked too high. He was a reach, and they expected the Jaguars to be able to get him much later in this draft. Well, James Gladstone on the Ozone podcast with John Oehser was asked about that.
I listen.
If I said that right, but
I listen to what's being said about players in a very real way. I care about it. I listen to those in this building and the people that we have invited into this building, and what their perspective is on these players. We build consensus internally, and that is leveraged at every pick point. Our wisdom of the collective is how we phrase it, and it is what guides our decision making. And I can tell you that when we get up on the clock, we're looking at the draft board and we see on it our sentiment and Duval DNA, and those are the two North Stars, so to speak, and that is a collective output. And ultimately, when we look at the guys that we select, we're not selecting them without some version of consensus internally. Now, where you select a player and you talk about consensus mock drafts, it's a very different conversation, and those don't always align because they don't necessarily take into consideration the exact scheme or situation that the player is walking into. You know, talent is one thing, but really the intangible elements, the situation, the timing of a player's arrival, those things are going to play a big part into what the rest of their career is going to look like and their impact on the football field or to a team and an organization.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, who are you going to look again? I'm not going to be surprised if they don't look at it. Maybe not James, but the scouts look at the consensus boards, but they've got their own. It's their own internal. Who do you trust? You trust the guys that have been doing the work on these kids for you, not just for the publication, for you specifically. You're targeting certain players that you think are going to be Jaguar type players.
Duval DNA.
Right. And you got to go search, not search because you're going to find them. You got to go see them. You got to spend time. You got to watch them. You got to talk to people about them. I mean, you got to do all this stuff. It's not just, oh, this guy's talented. I think he's, ranked 70th in, and here's the pick, and here's their need. And we'll just, maybe this is somebody they need. And we think that, okay. And it's not, I think, a lot of media people, they get so upset. I don't know what they want. I mean, do they really want teams to be like, yeah, that's how we pick them? Because then we don't need front offices anymore. We just need these consensus boards. You know what I mean? Look, again, I liken it to like AI. It feels like AI, right? Give me all these, like I told you, that one consensus had over 3,000 mock draft entries. Well, where are these from? I don't know. Are they the top 5 guys, or are they 1,000 people? You know what I mean? I have no idea. I don't know what. So to me, it feels like a little bit AI. So would it be a tool? Sure. You can use it as a tool. Would you use it as your end-all sale? No, because you're not factoring in what James Gladstone just said.
Yeah.
That finding that DNA. You don't just find it by saying, oh, he's talented. Look, I watched him on film. He looks great. He's got a great wingspan. He ran a 40 like this. He ran the cone drill. Oh, my gosh, he jumped this high. Look, he's going to be this, but you're not factoring in all the other stuff that they're looking for. And not just them, every other team and what they're looking for. The question is, I guess, and I think it's valid, why are these boards like right a lot, or it feels like they're right a lot? I don't think they totally are. I mean, I think it shows that they are.
The first 3 rounds have been 80%. Is the number.
Now here's and
that's just a number. That's what the analytics
I know that's
say.
valid. Okay. So I went. I think I said this earlier in the week or yesterday, and I went before the show. I went and looked how many, just the first 4 picks of the Jags. How many different mock drafts did I write down? And there were 14. So 14 of 56, 81, 88, and 100. Do you know none of them had the same player anywhere in any of the? So then you're like, well, what? They got to be part of the collective. They're these mock drafts. And I know that, look, the real good ones, they get it right. We had him on. Who's the guy we had on? You said he gets it like 60% time of the right. He was a second the most. Well, we just had him on like a
one of the mock drafters.
Yeah, one of the mock draft guys.
That
gets it right most. There were 60%.
I don't think we had him on. I think we just
talked about his a few times.
Yeah.
We've talked.
We just
There's
talked
like
about
5 guys that always have towards the top
The
percentage of being at least closest to.
Yeah.
And then you can separate it. Like I said, this was just talking about third rounds. You can say full 7 rounds. And I think the mock drafts are difficult, just like our media mock draft is difficult because you're not accounting as much for trades that happen like that.
Yeah.
So that's why it's harder to fully nail when you're doing just a mock draft because you don't know inside that building how likely they are to want to move up or back what they want to give up. So it's harder to do that. So you try and stick usually as close as possible to where that person's picking, or you're kind of guessing like, oh, so-and-so really said they want to move up. So let me just move them up to this spot. And that's why it's harder to do in the mock drafts. The consensus board is just saying, hey, here's the 400 best players and here's the range of where here's
they should go.
500 scouts, GMs, former scouts, blah, 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 draft guys that all have compiled it. And usually it's in a certain range. So some will even show you, like, here's the consensus board. We'll put them at 87, but they go from 75 to 112. And then some are way closer. Some are like, okay, they're number 4, but they'll go from 2 to 10, like something like that. And so it's never a science, and the draft isn't at all. And so that's what I get what James Gladstone's saying in this sense is obviously they're pretty much saying they're evaluating a lot of other things that you can't evaluate when you're just doing a straight up consensus board, which we talk about that leading up to the draft. How many times are we like, okay, well, this player should go in the top 10. And if you pick at 10, that'd be great, but he's not a fit for your team. So you're probably not going to take him at 10. Those conversations do happen during this process. And then you can go to straight up boards where people will just do Jaguars and it will be needs and trends and things like that. So there's a billion different things. It is a tool though. And nobody's saying, James, go draft it. Told you to draft this person at 56. Go draft that. They're just saying the critique is that the discrepancy is way bigger than most teams' discrepancy. And so that's where people are being a little critical, but we'll see. And that's what we keep saying. We don't know at this point in time.
Just so the consensus, it consists of scouts and GMs?
It's like a ton of people. I want to say 398 different people.
Right. But it can't be like I mean, the Jaguar scouts aren't doing it.
No, not
former. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
So, but analysts.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I mean, look, again, it's, I love what Baselli. He went back to his old Baselli for a second there. I love it. Yeah. I love it. I love the old Tony. I love the new Tony too, Tony. Keep shining, buddy.
We do want
keep
some
shining.
of that still, though.
We do like it. But, look, and that does offend, a lot of media. Like, see, that's what I'm talking about. We don't want to be discredited that it doesn't mean anything. It does mean something. I just don't think it means as much as they want it to mean.
I think
the media, that is, or whoever these people are.
There are fans, media members for sure, that want to discuss the consensus board versus how a draft went and believe that you either picked well or you didn't do a great job. You reached based off of the consensus board. Then you've got someone like Pete Prisco who tweeted out over the draft weekend, the whole idea that there is a consensus board being used to judge picks is stupid. Who is making up the consensus? That's the problem with the draft evaluations. Don't be part of the herd. I think that was in response to the Jaguars taking Nate
Even though
Ferguson.
Pete does the same thing. Like, he constantly is like, oh, this is a little bit of a reach for this team. And that's the thing. Like, I think everybody at this point is like talking out of two sides because they're trying to like defend their people and their team, but then they're looking at things another way and they're like, oh, well, I've normally said this. Because all of these guys that are pretty much talking about the consensus board and how they don't like it right now if it's affecting them, what people in a negative way in former times have said, oh, it was a little bit of a reach, but I like it, or that was a steal. If you're saying a steal, then you're talking about the consensus board. That is the same exact thing. It's just in the opposite way.
Right.
Oh, by the way, if you want to bash Trent Baalke and say he always reached because of arm length and blah, 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 then you believe in the consensus board. Just right now, you're upset because it's hurting what you like, and James Gladstone and the Jags and Liam Cohen and whatever. You can be critical. You can say you don't like somebody, and that doesn't mean they're wrong. Like, that's not what we're saying. You're just saying, maybe I don't agree on this, and we'll see, and that's what everyone's saying. But it's weird how all of a sudden people who have bashed Trent Baalke for all his drafts and said he reached and did whatever, all of a sudden don't believe in that.
Yeah, and listen, the whole process is an audition. So these guys are on their best everything. You know what I mean?
Well, until you send the people like under surveillance into their hometowns,
Right.
And they
Well,
have
yeah.
no
You
idea
have
who's
to
there,
do
like
that.
snooping around about them,
Right.
Like in their trash
you
cans.
have to do that. But my point is they're showing you a side of them that's genuine. I'm not saying it's not.
Yeah.
But that's why I always say you don't know till you get them in. You don't know how they're going to respond once they get in, how they're going to respond to adversity, how they're going to deal with their other teammates.
For sure.
What are they going to be like, in meetings? How are they going to treat different staff? You have no idea because it's like auditioning for a job. You don't show them your bad side.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't show them your ghosts or your skeletons or anything
I'm
like
actually
that.
often late, and I leave early.
Yeah.
I take a long
You're like,
lunch.
you just see me after
paid
5
a ton of money. You hear me?
Can I already ask about a raise and extra vacation?
Do you mind liquid lunches? I heard they're okay around here.
You should see me after 5 drinks on Friday night. Let's have talk then.
I mean, you're absolutely right. That's not how
So you
people
just don't
present
know.
themselves.
And I'm not saying that they come in and they're all different, but you just don't know. Because look, college is different. It's easier. It's not the same as playing in the NFL.
Especially
It's
if you
getting a
don't
little
have to go to
closer the way they're, the way it is, but it's not the same as playing in the NFL. So, you got to just hope you do pick the right guys with the right everything on the field and in the building and off the field as well.
I'm glad you mentioned that about the closer the gap is between college and the NFL as far as the money is concerned, the NIL. Outside of Emmanuel Pregnon, I feel like none of the other guys that the Jaguars picked would have gotten paid a bunch of NIL money. Like, yes, they transferred schools and whatnot, some of them, but I doubt that A&M was paying Nate Berketer a ton of money to switch from Nebraska.
Right. And then it goes back to that, like, is the talent pool depleted because guys went back?
Sure.
And maybe the guys in the I was listening to a couple analysts talk about I don't know if it's true. I mean, fourth to the 7th round is a lot of players. Absolutely. And they were saying that talent pool was depleted because a lot of those players are back in college. And so a lot of these players in that round, I'm not saying this is true. I'm just saying what I want, that they wouldn't even have been drafted. So then that even blows your mind even more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, we got someone in the 5th round. It's a steal. Well, maybe not. You know what I mean? If all these kids were in the pool and not just the ones that, weren't going to get the money or what have you. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's interesting. I think you need more years to really say data to say,
need to get out
really
of the COVID stuff. Once we can take a step away from all that.
We're pretty close, I think.
Yeah. I guess the way I look at it is I would never be emotional about the draft picks for the here and now. Like, I might be critical.
Yeah.
I might be in love with some of them, or not in love with, like, I might really like some of the players that they picked, but I'm not going to get, like, me personally, I'm just not going to get overly emotional. The people that have gotten so upset one way or the other, I'm like, guys, let's wait just a little bit until we get more information as far as, like, on the grass and things like that. All right, we will chat about one of the newest Jacksonville Jaguars. That would be Tanner Koziol, one of the tight ends that the Jaguars selected. We will talk to his offensive coordinator at Houston, Slade Nagel, next. So keep it right here. Helmets and Heels, 10 to XL 92.5 FM.
Dinner tonight? Make it easy and make it something everyone will love. With the Flame Broiler Family Meal Plan, you can feed 4 fast with fresh, flavorful options. You get 20 ounces of your choice of protein. Mix and match your favorites, plus steamed rice and a fresh veggie medley. It's a complete no-stress meal the whole family can agree on, starting at just $34.99. Skip the cooking tonight. Bring the family together and stop by any of Flame Broiler's 5 locations today.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. From GFL, Green for Life.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
I just got another NBA offer from Hard Rock Bet.
A Hard Rock Bet promo at the Hard Rock Bet Party? That is so meta.
That's not meta. That's Meta World Peace. Meta. Tell them about Hard Rock Bet.
Hard Rock Bet has it all. Live odds for every NBA game, every player prop, same game parlays, you name it. It's the only place I play these days.
Okay, now that is meta.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Homeowners, ready to open your home to spring and shut out high energy bills? It's the 1-month only sale with Renewal by Anderson. Right now, buy one, get one 40% off windows and doors. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. But this offer expires April 30th. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Did you know that an annual coating inspection can extend the life of your building by years? Catching early signs like hairline cracks, fading, and moisture intrusion helps prevent costly repairs down the road and keeps your property looking its best. Our team at Performance Painting helps you stay ahead of maintenance with professional inspections and long-lasting coating solutions. Protect your building, protect your budget. Go to performance-painting.com to schedule a free inspection. Performance Painting, repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting. Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, Prosser here, but here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit card, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking mumbo-jumbo. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices. I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from high heels to wagon wheels. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
Manis, Taylor Dahl, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you with the 164th pick overall. That was round 5. The Jacksonville Jaguars selected tight end Tanner Koziol out of Houston by way of Ball State. And we're now joined by his offensive coordinator, Slade Nagel. Slade, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. So the Senior Bowl notes that I had on Koziol, because we did a deep dive into the Senior Bowl standouts because the Jacksonville Jaguars a year ago loved a lot of the guys that played in the Senior Bowl. So it says about Koziol that he has soft hands and great overall ball skills. And of course, we know his size, 6'7", 247 pounds. He does need to fine tune his route running. What say you, Slade?
Yeah, I think you said it best. I mean, he's a big target. He's got a good catch radius. He's got excellent hands. He's kind of a guy that he's still open when he's covered. He knows how to use his body well and understands spatial awareness. And, just a kid who really loves football, loves to study football. And, we were fortunate to have him this past year, and he had a really big year for us. And I also think Tanner's a guy who will only get better and better, just as the years come. He's an excellent player, and wishing him the best.
Slade, that loves football term is very popular around here with James Gladstone and Coach Liam Cohen. Talk a little bit overall about that Houston offense and how the tight ends, specifically Tanner, was used, especially with the mobile quarterback in that game and Connor Wegman this last year.
Yeah, I think a big part of Tanner's game is his football IQ and ability to pick up things and understand schematics quickly. And, coming in with us, he got to Houston in the summer before the season, so he didn't really have spring ball and all that. And, he picked the offense up really quickly. We were able to move him around, and and put him in position to create mismatches and, kind of allow him to be the first or second target on a lot of things that we were doing. And, he did that really easily. So I think that's a big plus for him as well. But he's just a guy, he really loves to play. He spent a lot of time on his own studying film, whether it be opponents and himself or other NFL tight ends. He's just a guy who really he really enjoys that, and he enjoys that side of the sport. So I think that's a quality that y'all will be very pleased with him.
Coach Nagel, great to have you on the show. Appreciate the time. 50% of the time I read Tanner was in the slot. How did teams try to defend him? Would they throw a linebacker out there, a safety? Obviously, it depends what package you're in, but how would they mostly try to lock him up if they could?
Yeah, a lot of times it would be, a safety or a linebacker covering him. He was a big target for us on third down as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, he saw some man coverage in those situations. And like I said, just having a big frame and a big body, and he's pretty fluid for a guy that big. He was able to create some mismatches. And then first and second down, I think another plus to his game is he has really, really good spatial awareness. So in the play action game and working zones and understanding, who you're trying to take advantage of and what, zone or linebackers per se or safety you're trying to attack and get to bite with run fakes and stuff like that. He understands those things. So I think that plays in big to what he's able to do as well.
What's he like with the ball in his hands, Coach? Is he shifty? I know he said he moves fluidly. Is he run people over, breaks tackles? What's his strong suit in that regard?
Yeah, honestly, he was better than what I expected when we got him. And I don't think he's a shifty, make you miss type of guy, but I do think he understands defenses and he understands how to finish with the ball based off of whether he's sitting a route down or he's staying on the move or whatever it may be. And I think he's just a big guy that understands to get vertical and use his body and his size to his advantage and finish runs, moving forward rather than running sideways. So he's pretty good with it.
Slade, if you have an NFL comp for Tanner Koziol, who would it be?
An NFL comp for Tanner. That's an interesting question because most of his career at Ball State, he was used like a receiver, and he really feels comfortable split out. But I'll be honest. I think the growth of his game will be, when you move him closer to the box and the line of scrimmage, because he's talented as well. He's got long arms. He's able to block. He's not scared to stick his face into contact. I don't know off the top of my head. He's a really good football player that loves football, and I think he can be an all-around player as well. And I think he's pretty polished as far as the pass game goes, but I think you'll only see him get better and better as far as being a run blocker, pass protector, and whatnot. So I don't know. I don't know who I would compare him to.
Isaiah Likely.
6'7" guys.
Let's give him that one.
Yeah, I like
Isaiah Likely.
Yeah.
That sounds like it's close.
Maybe Jason Witten. Can we go with Jason Witten?
Carolina, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that'd be a good comparison. Jason Witten would be a good comparison.
There we go. All right. We'll take
he's
Because 6'6" and basically
That size,
6'7",
yeah. Coach, when you talk about, you just mentioned a lot of the different things he did, and Tommy mentioned earlier that 50% in the slot. But one of the positives I did hear and see when it comes to talking about Tanner is just the route tree in general at Houston specifically, and all the different ways they would line him up. And I do think that's really beneficial when it comes to getting to the NFL level, and especially in a Liam Cohen offense when you're kind of disguising a lot of things and there's a lot of different ways you can move him. Do you think that is something that will be highlighted right away at the next level?
Yeah, I would think so. I would think so. Just the difference of college football to the NFL, and I like I said before, I think Tanner's smart enough to be able to learn and process and do all those things, and it's it comes naturally to him, the game and schematics and those kind of things. So I think that's something that he'll excel at early, and I don't see why they wouldn't.
Hey, Coach, I don't know how many Houston Cougar fans are here in Jacksonville, but how's the team looking? How was spring ball? How's the offense looking going into 26?
It's good. Spring ball was good. You know, it's our second year in this offensive system, and our quarterback's back, and this will be the first time in his career he's had the same offense 2 years in a row. So he was really good this spring. You can tell he feels comfortable. He's a really good football player. And, you know, we've got our leading receiver from that position group is back. You know, we've replaced some guys on the offensive line. We picked up a transfer running back to go with a couple guys. We took another transfer tight end who I think is another guy who will be able to be highly productive, has a really good skill set. So I think everything's looking good so far. You know, just got to keep working and keep meshing together and keep people healthy, and I think we'll have a chance.
Well, best of luck, for sure.
We absolutely appreciate your time, and I know Tanner Koziol appreciates you, considering he led the entire FBS with 74 receptions as a tight end. So the fact that you went to him that much, that helped boost that NFL draft for sure.
I'm smart enough to make sure he gets in the position we can throw him the ball when he's a good player. So I don't claim to be a genius, but I could figure that much out.
Absolutely. All right, Slade. Well, we so appreciate it. Good luck this season. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you guys. Y'all have a good afternoon.
You too. Same. Yeah, Connor Wegman used to play for Texas A&M and definitely beat Florida.
The guy can move.
Sure.
He can, yeah. So, yeah, Tanner Koziol sounds like, we have Jason Witten. That's exactly what I was
Jason
picturing.
can block.
For sure.
I mean, kind of a beast of a
there's
blocker.
a little bit of a knock on Koziol for blocking, but...
Maybe they just didn't have a lot of the opportunity.
Do you need him to block when he's one of your best receiving?
Yeah, you're probably
pass
watching.
That's a lot of balls.
Yeah, for sure. That definitely boosted his draft status for sure, draft stock. All right, more to do on the other side, including Tommy's take. Keep it right here. Helmets and Heels 10 to next on 92.5 FM.
Where is he? Where did he go?
Where's he going? 1010XL.
Not everyone is built for a cubicle. At Local 234, apprentices get paid to learn hands-on skills like plumbing, pipe fitting, HVAC, the stuff Jacksonville runs on. No endless lectures, no massive student debt, just hands-on training, real jobs, and real pay. This is how you level up, by doing work that actually matters. Check them out at UA234.com. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Local 234. Make the right connection.
Ladies and gentlemen, experience the thrill of the Kentucky Derby at Best Bet. Saturday, May 2nd, watch the most exciting 2 minutes in sports and dive into the action with live wagering. This could be your lucky day. Mark your calendars and join us at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, or St. Augustine on Saturday, May 2nd for the Kentucky Derby, live from Churchill Downs, the first race of the Triple Crown. Visit bestbetjacks.com for more details. That's bestbetjacks.com.
The River City Rumble returns to Harmon Stadium for a baseball battle with North Florida and Jacksonville University, Friday, May 1st through Sunday, May 3rd. You won't want to miss a minute of crosstown rivalry action when the Ospreys host the Dolphins the first weekend in May, with the Frangie Show live at Harmon Stadium Friday, May 1st from 4 to 6. Get your tickets, call 904-620-BIRD or visit unfospreys.com/buy tickets now.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Spring is here. Is your yard ready? Lucas Tree Service, a family-owned business with over 45 years of experience, is Jacksonville's certified arborist for safe tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for homes and businesses. Protect your property, boost your curb appeal, and enjoy expert service you can trust. Keep your trees healthy and safe before summer arrives. Schedule your inspection today at lucastreeservice.com.
What rock and roll band is mentioned in the song Smoke on the Water? The answer coming right up.
For over 20 years, Southern Oak Insurance has given Floridians a better alternative to their current homeowner's policy. See what you can get with Southern Oak. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The rock and roll band mentioned in Smoke on the Water, Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention.
Southern Oak Insurance, our family protecting yours.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. If you've ever wondered why some jewelry stores and department stores always have a sale going at 50 to 75% off, there's a good reason. Because most of the time, they're not real sales. The prices are marked up so they can sell the piece at a big discount and still make the profit they need. If you wanted to find a realistic sales event, the store wouldn't run a year-round sale, and the discounts would be a little more realistic. For example, Underwoods puts all of our diamond solitaire necklaces and ear studs on sale in May at 15% below the prices we sell at the rest of the year. So there's a genuine savings to the customer. We also take trade-ins. So it's the ideal time to buy for someone looking to grow their pendant or ear studs up to a larger size. Now at Underwoods, we don't run a lot of sales, but when we do, they're real and a good time to buy. So come see us at Underwoods, San Marco, Avondale, or the shops of Ponte Vedra.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Thanks again to Slade Nagel for joining us. Taylor Dell is here. Tom McManus, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks.
It's going to be May.
Yes.
We're about to be in May.
We are.
Unbelievable.
It's crazy.
Flying by.
Yeah, we're almost through like the first half of 2026.
That's crazy.
Didn't it just turn to 2026? By the way, if you're someone that likes to pick Kentucky Derby horses based off of their names, good luck. There are a ton.
A lot of good ones this year.
Yeah, of good names.
Good names. I haven't looked yet.
Yeah,
You don't look at the odds at all? You just pick names?
No, pretty much everything you ever look at nowadays has the odds
by
next
it.
to the name.
I usually just go by the name I like, though.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You factor in the odds or you don't?
Oh, no, I always
She'll look
factor
at the
in
odds.
You'll do the name.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see what color the horse is sometimes.
Yeah.
RJ actually has a friend, Andy B. in Cone. We had her on last year to preview the Derby. And was it the Derby or was it another horse race? We had her on, I know, and she's super, super smart and talented. And you met her in high school or college?
No, we went to high school together.
That's
yeah,
right.
I think I was a senior when she was a sophomore.
Okay. But yeah, she works now for
FanDuel.
And so she is super insightful. We were talking about maybe trying to get her on either tomorrow if we can or Monday to recap the Derby.
Checking out all the sophomores when you're a senior, were you?
No, we were no.
I know that trick.
No,
it was opposite for me. The senior girls were coming after me.
We were in speech together.
Oh, okay.
And I was in duos. She was in, I forget what she said. I think she said dramatic interpretation.
Oh,
yeah, we were all just, derpy,
I was
nerdy
just
speech
kinda
kids.
trying to be funny.
Nerdy
Yeah, no,
speech.
that's all.
I do have a friend that actually works at Churchill Downs doing like some of the analytical stuff there.
Nice.
Like I don't know, all the intricate. We talk about the analytics in the NFL. They have that for the horses. And so he's a math guy and loved horses. And so he's like, well, why don't I do both of them together? And now works at Churchill Downs.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. That must be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fastest 2
It's
minutes.
minus
I'm kinda
the,
scared of horses.
the horse manure smell. You have to probably stink it up.
I'm probably used to it.
Yeah, right.
Like you get,
It's fertilizer.
My guess is the analytics person's probably not out there.
there as
that
You
often.
got to take walks
Testing
sometimes.
the
You got to
dirt.
get away from the desk. Walk around the
Sure.
grounds.
All right, let's get into Tom's take.
Now, Tommy's Takes. Protected by Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com, or dial #law. That's all.
All right, my take today on this awesome, beautiful Thursday afternoon, brought to you by Morgan & Morgan, is, let's see, I think of if you snooze, you lose, and dream another dream, because this dream is over. Calais Campbell will not be a Jacksonville Jaguars. He is signed with Baltimore.
Dream on.
Yeah, dream on, because it ain't happening. You can keep dreaming. I know we all had a little bit of hope, or a lot of us did.
I
I
had a
think
lot
it would
of
be
hope.
great. The guy had 6.5 sacks.
I know, he's still going.
Last year, he had 9 tackles for loss, 16 quarterback hits, and not a full-time starter for the Arizona Cardinals. Going into his 19th year, we would have loved to have him back in a Jaguar uniform.
Notice
but
Tom didn't say pressures.
to no avail.
Yeah, he did not
Yeah,
have to use the pressure word.
no pressure word, yeah. But Calais Campbell, a Baltimore Raven. That's my
Boo.
take today.
Boo,
by Morgan
Ravens.
Morgan.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Hey, that's a
Calais
smart
is-
move by them.
Oh,
smart move.
Definitely.
Yeah, heck yeah.
I mean, I think that Calais is just, we've talked about it here in general. When you talk about the football player, that's one thing. And then the human is a whole other level from Calais. He's one of the best people I've ever met in my whole life and we've ever got to cover here. And so it's always that hangs on. It was like Mayor Calais, all of those things tie in. So there was that hope that maybe you bring him back and he can end things here and help this defense just a little bit. I mean, he would get what he got last year would be the third most sacks on this team from last year. So
absolutely.
Second most.
Did he have 6 last year?
It's 6.5.
6.5. Okay,
Yeah,
so
he'd have the
second most.
second most on the team.
He
That's
would.
what's wild.
Yeah.
Just behind Josh Hines.
How about this for stats? In his career, 117 sacks, 282 QB hits, and 18 forced fumbles
Wow.
to date.
That's impressive.
Hall of Fame
That's
right
crazy.
there.
For
You
sure.
would think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
What a
look,
career.
I
It's
wanted
nice
him
to be on the top
here
of the food chain.
Oh, absolutely. I wanted him here too, just to bring that little bit of 2017 energy back, right? Like this team last year was super exciting because of the takeaways for sure, but it was the offense, right? And what they were able to do and the amount of points they were able to average each week. Like that was what got people so excited. I would would have loved for this season to have had a Calais addition to this defense and have it just a little bit more like, hey, we're here to get sacked.
Yeah.
And look, when Eric was first signed, we thought he was the next Calais.
We did.
So maybe in his third year, stay healthy and he has a monster year for this team. That'd be great.
Yeah, I know we don't love the pressures, but I did see a stat that was interesting. One is most QB pressures after facing double teams. So the most times pressured while being double teamed. Jeffrey Simmons, and this is just in 2025. Jeffrey Simmons was the most with 18. Christian Barmore the second with 17. Vita Vea had 16. Quentin Williams had 15, and then Calais at 14.
Wow.
And to your point, you're not even playing every.
Full-time.
Yeah.
Played a lot, but not full-time starter.
Yeah, I'm surprised Dexter Lawrence isn't on that list, but yeah. All right, more to do on the other side when it comes to getting to know your Jacksonville Jaguars, the newest ones. That is Zach Durfee, Project X. We will chat with Washington site editor of UW Huskies Wire, Roman Thomashoff, when we return. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Choose your social channel. Twitter at 1010XL, Facebook at 1010XL, Instagram at 1010XL, TikTok at 1010XL, YouTube at 1010XL. 1010XL is there.
Termite swarms are active right now in Jacksonville, and once they get inside, damage can happen fast. Termites don't knock, they silently attack the structure of your home, leaving behind costly repairs and long-term headaches. Protect what you've worked hard for with the proven protection homeowners trust. Terminix, with advanced termite treatment and prevention solutions. Visit Terminix.com and schedule your free termite inspection today.
Mike Dempsey here for Big Number 1 Duval Ford. Hundreds will gather to walk for those living with ALS at the Walk to Defeat ALS Jacksonville, Saturday, May 2nd, 10 a.m. at Friendship Fountain. Register or donate at als.org/walkjacksonville.
They give their best physically and mentally.
Listen for the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Scholar Athlete of the Week, tuned up by
The Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234
Wednesday afternoons on The Frangie Show.
on 1010XL.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple years ago. Went smooth as silk, was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Our son Eric's a Division I collegiate baseball pitcher who is having shoulder pain. We took him to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and are confident that he's now on the road to recovery. This is Beth Anderson, and we love the care Eric receives at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Flowers and cards are great for Mother's Day, but why not make this Mother's Day extra special with something timeless from Beard's Diamonds? The team at Beard's has put together an amazing collection of affordable and distinctive gifts up to 40% off. Beautiful bracelets with diamonds and colored gemstones, stunning pendants, and gorgeous earrings featuring both natural and lab-grown diamonds. Think about it. It's the gift she'll be able to enjoy for years, even decades. Always a reminder of that special Mother's Day in 2026. Rings, bands, pearls, fashion pieces, all the latest from the world's top designers. Beards makes it easy to show the mother in your life how much she means to you and to the whole family. And with up to 40% savings, you'll be amazed at what you can do with your budget. Get the card and the flowers, but top it off with a spectacular piece of jewelry from Beards. Beards Diamonds, not another chain store owned by Wall Street. Your local jeweler. Family owned and operated for nearly 45 years. Beards Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center.
For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Checkmate. I'm Brendan Cecilia, founder of Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, the Checkmate chess man.
At most companies, people start on the ground floor and work their way up to the corner office. At Checkmate, I started on the ground floor, and almost 20 years in, that's still where I am, making ground floors look awesome, one garage at a time.
Well, I started as a pawn and worked my way up to king.
No, you didn't. Some guy drew you as a king. I asked them to give you a roller, so at least you look like one of the guys.
Yes, I rather would have preferred a sword.
At Checkmate, I work personally with our teams to perfect the preparation and application techniques that make Checkmate floors beautiful and durable.
And I keep things classy with my adorable accent.
Beautiful floors?
Check. Guaranteed to last?
Check. The finishing touch your home deserves? Checkmate.
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit checkmatecoatings.com.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Awaken 180. The Orlando Magic Detroit Pistons series is headed to Game 6 after the Pistons outlasted the Magic in Game 5, 116-109. Tomorrow night, the Magic will look for one more win to advance to the next round, tipping off at 7 p.m. on 92.5 FM. It's 87 degrees at 2:59. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
Welcome back into Helmets and Heels, continuing on some Jaguars draft talk as we are going over several of the players, probably all of them in the next couple weeks that the Jaguars have selected. And so now we're going to move on and we're going to talk to Roman. Thomas Schaaf covers Washington for Huskies Wire and Locked On Huskies. Roman, thanks for hopping on and chatting with us.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course. And so if people don't know, we're going to be talking about edge Zach Durfee, and who is also announced as the Project X player. So that was a really cool story if you haven't gone back and read that. And then just also seeing his kind of raw reaction of being drafted. It was emotional. We love seeing that type of stuff on draft day. But Roman, I want to start off with just talking about that Huskies defense. And, you know, there was a lot of, when you talk about the offense this year, there were a lot of good things going on. They were really good on the ground. They scored a lot of points, all of those things. But I don't know if we know as much about the defense in this last year. So chat a little bit about that, really what made that defense work and maybe some of the issues, just overall what it looked like.
Yeah, absolutely. This was quietly one of the best defenses in all of college football. They were top 25 in the nation in yards allowed per game, points allowed per game, and top 15 in run defense, allowing just over 100 yards at 100.08. And under defensive coordinator Ryan Walters, who's in his first year on Montlake, truly I couldn't have been more impressed with where this defense went as they had to deal with some injuries along the way. But after completely overhauling the roster following the run to the national championship in 2023, the defense as a whole took a big step back in 24, and watching them return to form in 2025, especially along the defensive line, was something that was a real pleasure to watch, because Zach Durfee, as I'm sure we'll get into, is somebody who has just dealt with the worst string of luck I think I've ever seen, as not just somebody who's covered this team for 6-7 years now, but as just a lifelong football fan. It's unbelievable, some of the things that we've had to watch him go through But to see him fully healthy for the majority of the year and really finally start to amount to some of the potential that we've heard about him for so long was a lot of fun to watch.
Hey, Roman, great to have you on the show, man. Thanks for taking the time. I keep hearing more and more about Zach. He's got the most upside. I don't want to say any edge defender in the draft, but he's up there. Tell us about his abilities as a pass rusher.
So his ability as a pass rusher is something that I truly wish I got to see more of, because he was on the team for 3 seasons, and it feels like nobody really got a chance to get to know him because of not just the injuries, but the NCAA and everything else that happened with him. But he's so explosive. And this is something that I have heard about him truly since the day he arrived, that he is an outstanding athlete, and being able to get drafted after just his pro day performance, I think, is a huge testament to that. But this is a guy that is explosive, has the strength, is somebody who can also set the edge as a run defender as well. But his first step as a pass rusher is really, really fun. And throughout his time at Washington, it was really nice to be able to watch him develop a little bit more as a pass rusher, because coming from the NAIA level, there were certainly a lot of things that it felt like he needed to work on just in terms of technique. But after 3 years at Washington, we certainly saw him do a lot of those things.
So, Roman, obviously you believe when healthy, we're going to see potentially double-digit sacks from Zach Durfee at some point in time in his NFL career?
That is something where I would certainly love to see that. I think it's going to be a little bit difficult, because the one thing that I think that contributed to him going a little bit later was the arm length was always a little bit on the shorter side. So I absolutely believe that he has the athleticism and the upside to reach that mark. I don't know if I would go that far as of right now. I'd love to see what he looks like against some NFL offensive tackles in camp before I go that far.
I can understand that. I just know that he had caught the eye of Bill Belichick out of practice, and Troy Faltano said that he was the best that he went against.
Yes. Oh, no, absolutely. And the side note, the Bill Belichick thing is still one of the craziest things I've ever experienced in my life. Being 3 feet away from that guy wearing UW gear is something that I don't think I will ever be able to truly comprehend as long as I live, especially as a Patriots fan.
I get that.
That's great.
I love it. When you talk about, you just mentioned that setting the edge side of things, because when you were talking about these edge rushers, that is a lot of the conversation throughout the draft process before and after. And when we start to evaluate guys as, are they that true pass rusher? Can they set the edge? Can what they do against the run? Can they shed blockers? Doing all of that type of stuff. And some of those things I've seen, there were struggles early on, but you kind of mentioned that development over the 3 years there. So do you think that there's the ability for that to continue to grow, especially considering there was technically only 13 starts in FBS?
Yeah, absolutely. Where it's something that I think that just with how much he had to deal with just to give everyone a little bit more of the backstory, when Zach arrived at Washington through the transfer portal in January of 2023, didn't seem like there were going to be any issues. But then all of a sudden, with the NCAA's rules, he was forced to sit out most of the 2023 season because he started his career at North Dakota State as a student, not as a football player. Right. And so they considered his transfer from North Dakota State to Sioux Falls as his one-time free transfer, and that was something that he had to deal with red tape throughout the 2023 season, was able to play in the Sugar Bowl and the National Championship a little bit that year. And then a couple of games after suffering an elbow injury as well, he got turf toe in both of his feet in 2024, which, it's crazy. He described to me exactly how it happened, and it just sounded like one of the most painful things any human has ever had to experience. And then on top of that, he hurts his other arm in 2025 on another just freak play where he just fell at a weird angle. So it's not even something where I want to go out and say that he's injury prone, but to really answer the question, it's something where because he just only got so many actual game reps up until, later on in the 2025 season when he was able to be out there a little bit more often, it just took him a little bit longer to get truly caught up to the physicality of, playing Division I college football.
Roman Tomashoff here with us. He's a site editor of Huskies Wire at the University of Washington. So, will Zach, is he more comfortable standing up, do you think, Roman? Hand in the ground, wide 9? Can he come inside a little bit? What do you think's best situation for Zach to succeed as an edge?
I think that's one of my favorite things about Zach is that we saw him do a little bit of all of that. Personally, I think he's a little bit best as a traditional 4-3 defensive end who can play with his hand in the dirt a little bit, but with some of the multiplicity, some of the versatility that we saw from this Ryan Walters defense in 2025, they asked him to play a little bit more as a stand-up outside linebacker. We've seen him on several reps move a little bit further inside to a more traditional 3-4 defensive end sort of role. And I think that's one of the really fun things about his size at 6'5", 260, whatever he is at this point in time. With the athleticism and the explosiveness that he has, it's that he fits really, really well in any system.
I feel like we know him, honestly, from reading the Project X story and then the follow-up after. What's one thing, Roman, that you would say that you know about Zach that maybe the common person or common fan doesn't know?
I see. This is the funny thing where, as you said, the way that this story has developed over the last couple of months is very, very interesting. Where that a lot of that backstory in the Project X story was something that I was told by a family member of his in 2023, and thinking about his background and what it took to get to this point where he was going to go play Division III college basketball before choosing the path that he did. I think that something that still somehow gets lost in this, between all the red tape, all of the injuries, is just how smart and strong and resilient of a person he is off the field. Like, I really don't think that is something that can be overstated with all of the things that he's had to overcome in his career.
So intangibly rich.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
we love that term here also. Roman, before we let you go, I did want to ask you about some of those other guys, several guys out of Washington drafted, but a couple of them, I mentioned that offense at the top, Denzel Boston to the Browns, Jonah Coleman to the Broncos. Chat about those guys and how you think they fit at those two spots.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's start with Denzel here, where seeing him fall out of the first round was a little frustrating for me personally, because I think that he absolutely has the talent to be one of the first 32 players off the board, especially in this particular draft class. And while I don't love the fit to the Cleveland Browns strictly based on the sickening, let's call it, quarterback scenario, I do believe that him and Casey Concepcion complement each other very, very well. And if the Browns can find a way to figure out quarterbacks, I don't think they have the answer in the room right now. I think that this is going to be something that we could look back on in 2, 3, 4 years' time and say, wow, that combination of Casey Concepcion and Denzel Boston fits very, very well. And on a similar note, just because, with my fantasy football brain, the way it works sometimes, I'm horrified of what the backfield splits might look like in Denver between Jonah Coleman, R.J. Harvey, and J.K. Dobbins. But on that same note, Jonah Coleman is somebody who, a lot like Zach Durfee, has been through a lot in his life and is just somebody who works so incredibly hard in a lot of the areas of the game that go overlooked a little bit, where you can go back to his conversations at the NFL Combine with my good buddy Alex Katzen over at Huskies Wire, who asked him about pass protection. And he talked about, hey, the quarterback's getting paid $100 million. I'm getting paid $2. Who's more important? I know I have to go lay my body out on the line for that kind of guy. And with that intelligence that he provides, along with just how strong and shifty he is and his ability to break tackles, which has been one of the best in the FBS since he first got to college at Arizona, I feel like he's somebody who can absolutely rise up that depth chart really, really quickly and even make somebody like Sean Payton say, all right, I got to commit more carries to this guy.
All right, Roman. Well, we appreciate your time. I know a lot of people here are super excited about Zach, especially with the more recent, you hear about the X Project and all of the other things and everything he's battled. So cheering him on here in Jacksonville, obviously, and we appreciate you hopping on and chatting with us a little bit.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
All right.
So it sounds like, according to Roman, they started that story on Zach Durfee in 2023.
That's kind of wild.
Wow.
Yeah, and then followed him throughout that. And once again, Project X, ESPN, is trying to find the most overlooked prospect in the draft that may go undrafted but has a potential big upside. And because of his injuries, Zach Durfee certainly fell in that.
Just think about it. 2020, he's not even playing ball. 21, he's at Sioux Falls.
2021, he's at North Dakota State as a student.
I thought it was 2020. Okay, I got that. Whatever. Then he went to Sioux Falls.
Then he went to Sioux Falls. balls.
Yes.
He had 4 sacks in 23 snaps,
yeah.
which is wild.
That
and then
just
the
means
legend
he
started to grow.
was way better than everybody.
Correct. And
at
then
Sioux
he
Falls.
ended up with 11 sacks that season. Yeah, then transfers to Washington, and then obviously, like
Yeah.
he said, wasn't able to
Look
play
at
the
him.
first year. And yeah, look, the reason I asked him about the double-digit sack number is because a lot of times when you have someone that's close to a player like this, they are thinking like, well, he's going to defy all odds and he's going to go out and just tear it up at the NFL level. And he was very realistic
Yeah.
about his expectation. And I'm just glad he wasn't like, oh, yeah, he's going to be a double-digit sack getter. Like, he didn't do that either year at Washington.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask just to see, the expectations of someone like this who's watched him, someone like Roman who's watched him game in and game out for a couple of years now. I'm super excited to see what Zach Durfee can bring to this team.
Him and Koziol, they're. I mean, maybe it's because you've been talking to their guys, but
Absolutely.
they're getting me
That's
fired
why-
up.
That's why we do this.
I just want to
Ready
go
to play
see them.
football
Like, I
now.
want to see them in their first step. Hear his first steps. Really good Zach's is,
Yep.
and you see Koziol can run. I want to
Yep.
just take a look at him, just see how they move, and
Absolutely.
that kind of stuff. They're not going to show that much, obviously, but
Yeah.
you can tell by the way they move around how athletic they're going to be.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that next Saturday will be if the calendar falls like it did a year ago.
The 9th, right?
It was the 9th of this year, so it'd be like I think the 9th or 10th this year. Yeah.
Yeah, because the 8th is a Friday.
Yeah. So
Yep.
yeah, the 9th. But then again, as I say that out loud and I think through it, last year they got to start early because they had a new coach. So I guess
right.
it may be a little bit after
for
that.
the
for the
OTA?
rookie mini camp.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So now that I think about it, it could be.
No, I think
later
it's the
in
9th
May.
because I got to think from the players, the legend.
Oh,
thing
okay.
to go out
Breaking news now.
Well, they sent it out, I think, didn't they?
Good. I don't know.
Oh.
I haven't seen anything yet, but I
See,
was.
you can't get mad at me, but I don't read the text threads there, LB, if you're not going to read the other stuff. You know
I
what mean?
read everything. You know that. I have not received anything from the Jaguars yet. But I looked back at when last year's was the rookie mini camp, and
Mm-hmm.
it was that weekend. It was May 10th last year. That's what I was thinking, 9th or 10th. So hopefully, May 9th, next Saturday, day before Mother's Day, we'll be able to.
Let's fact check it.
Yeah, it's
I
fine.
think it is.
We'll
I
figure
really
that
do
out.
think
I
it is.
believe you. All right, more to do on the other side, including Lauren's Lane at Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Will Dan Hicken find sanity?
Given enough time, I guess everyone cracks.
Will Jeff Prosser find peace of mind?
The distance between insanity and genius is measured only by success.
Find out on the next thrilling, hilarious, unpredictable episode of The Drill. Tomorrow morning on 1010XL.
Steaks sizzling, drinks flowing, friends gathered together. Your dream backyard starts with CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. You dream it, they build it. Outdoor kitchens, fire pits, fireplaces, and more. Visit CSSFireplaces.com.
Hey folks, it's Frank Frangie. When you buy tires, you should get more than just tires. You should get value that lasts. Well, at Big Chief Tire, every tire purchase comes with their Extra Mile program. That means $10 off every oil change, free tire rotations, free tire repairs, and more every time you visit. No points, no gimmicks, just real savings from a local shop you can trust. Call 904-932-0950 or visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com. That's how you take care of your car the right way.
I insist on complete honesty.
You can chime in anytime on the 1010XL text line.
Installed by Lifetime Flooring.
If you have something to say to me, I wish you would just say it.
Share your opinion. Are you
nuts?
What? 641-1010.
It's crazy.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, I know how awful it is to get injured, but not like my friend Tom, who got rear-ended last year. Tom McMahon is here. Morgan & Morgan can help you. They're the largest personal injury law firm in the nation. 1,000 lawyers, 100 offices across the nation, and over $30 billion recovered. And guess what? They don't get a single penny unless you do. A proven track record with backup. Hard to find these days, but not with Morgan & Morgan. For the people, that's right. Get injured due to someone's neglect, get paid. Dial Pound Law or check out forthepeople.com.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, Prosser here, but here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit card, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation? From a real person? Good luck. That is what's so nice about Mike Merritt's Heating and Air. Unlike publicly traded conglomerates with headquarters in faraway cities, Mike Merritt's Heating and Air remains family-owned and operated by Mike, your neighbor. Mike Merritt has delivered hometown service, integrity, and pricing for generations. The big guys incentivize their techs to sell you new equipment. Mike's team emphasizes repair first. We only sell you equipment if your current equipment is worn out and beyond repair. And let's be honest about price. Small operations without much overhead can sometimes lowball your job, but you can't trust just anyone with a truck. They may be here today and gone tomorrow. Mike Merritt has been keeping North Florida cool for more than 3 decades. That's experience and dedication you can count on. Call today or see us on the web.
Florida license number CAC 050384.
If you're heading to the Og or you're already part of the nation's oldest, don't forget to drop into Sunset Grill. For over 30 years, serving up great chowder, seafood, wings, and cold beer. Sunset Grill, somewhere on A1A, St. Augustine Beach.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
I feel like I'm standing next to a marching band right now. I love it. Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. Thanks again to our guests from today, Slade Nagel, the Houston offensive coordinator, who joined us to discuss Tanner Koziol, the Jaguars' second tight end that they drafted, and then also who we just chatted with, Roman Tomashoff, about the Washington Huskies player that we got in Zach Durfee. Again, Project X, if you haven't read it yet, Kaylin Collar, or Kaylor, I don't know how to say her last name, but she is the one who did all the research, and that edge coming to Jacksonville really could provide the pass rush that the Jaguars have long been needing.
Yeah, I mean, look, again, you just got to, it all sounds good, looks good on paper. I'm sure everything that we're being told is genuine. Now it just comes to the fact, like, okay, he's a good athlete. How good of an athlete is he when he gets to the pro level? Right. Does it level off, or does his athleticism still stand out? It may still stand out.
Because Roman did say the shorter arms, so we know Trent Baalke would not have drafted him.
Yeah. I mean, I think the good thing about a situation like this is you do have 2 pass rushers that are established. They're both getting paid. And when healthy, we hope that they are both getting double-digit sacks. And so it's not like he's coming into a place that doesn't have another pass rusher and he has to come in and immediately be this guy who's getting double digits or it's not working. Like, you get to be in a rotation and have time to develop a little bit and not be forced into a situation. And that's just talking about Trayvon and Josh Hines Allen. You have other guys that we think, you have other guys on this roster we think can also get to the quarterback. And you need to see more of that. It was obviously a problem last year. But that's one of the positives, I think, is you don't, sometimes they go into the situations where it's like, okay, well, they don't have somebody else, so you're expecting that person to have to. And that's not realistic for somebody where dealing with injuries, not a ton of experience in college, maybe the shorter arms, but this gives him time to develop and be in the rotation and not have to be the guy right away.
And if he can, I mean, I'm assuming he wouldn't be the starter at the 4-3 DN, but that means he can carry the load a little bit. He must be pretty strong as far as getting some run, where he doesn't have to be out wide, to use his athleticism to make plays. But wouldn't it be great if he was the guy that they got in the 7th round or wherever they got him to come off the bench and be that guy for you, to be that specialist, and you got others, who knows? We'll see if, we got BJ Green the second, Strigow.
Wesley
I think
Williams,
Gardeck.
like I said, we talked about yesterday.
I think Gardeck, I would love to see him in nickel, get his chances to rush. We know what he can do in base, playing Sam. He can rush from the Sam. He can play the run. He can cover. But I'd like to see him in more sub packages, get more opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, I think with this rotation, it just depends on what's going on. Like, is Wesley Williams going to come in and compete right away with Green and Strigow?
I feel like, and I may be off. I feel like
Durfee.
Wesley might be more of a project. Like Zach doesn't sound like a project. He's either going to have it or he's not going to have it. I think Wesley's got like more of a project feel to me.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Like to learn pass rush moves.
Yeah, just look. It doesn't mean he won't be on the active roster, but I think he's a little more raw.
Okay.
Type thing, which is
normally it would be reversed. You would have drafted the project in the 7th round, and you would have drafted the guy that you have more faith in the 4th round, because that's where Wesley Williams out of Duke was
depending
drafted.
on the athletic part of it.
Right.
You
And
know,
the
Wesley
injuries
might
were a
be
big Durfee
ridiculously.
part.
What's that?
If Durfee didn't have all those injuries, it
that
could
probably-
have quite possibly been flopped.
Right. And had he started at a bigger school
Yeah.
too,
Yeah.
for sure. But yeah, you obviously know that Wesley Williams is a good athlete because he blocked 5 field goals or punts in his career.
Yeah.
Like that's
This guy is
unbelievable.
too. By the way, we were talking
Yep.
off air. I was looking at a 10-2 broad jump. That's really good for a big
For
fella.
Durfee, yeah.
And then Durfee, I think it was 36.5 vertical or 37. Like that's getting up there for a big man.
Yeah, like we talked about earlier this week, the whole there's a legend around this guy, Zach Durfee. Like he was always talked about as being this legendary prospect in the scouting world. It's just unless you're a Huskies fan or I guess a Cougars fan before that at Sioux Falls, you wouldn't have known who he is, right? And so sometimes it does take stories like this to come out and go to that deeper layer of this is why this guy either may not get drafted or, in the case of the Jaguars point, draft him at 233 overall.
Yeah, and again, like Taylor said, the injuries had to have probably affected people. That's why he probably went later.
Absolutely.
You know what
He
I
missed
mean?
a ton of football.
Take a
and-
flyer on a guy that's got upside.
Right. And then
why
you
not?
worry that he's
Yeah.
injury prone.
Yeah.
Roman said he didn't say that he is, but you are once you have
2
multiple
turf toes,
injuries,
multiple both elbows.
Right.
Like you
Yeah.
do start to think about that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, turf toe, I don't know. I've had turf toe. It's awful. It feels like an ice pick in your big toes joint, right
Ow.
on the side. Like someone's
Ow.
and grinding it too. Like then they got to
Ow.
put the steel shank in and you
Ow.
can't bend. Like you can't.
So what is it usually like? You jam it or what?
Yeah,
how
you could jam it.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Or it could just be running on it too much, just gets inflamed. But it's very painful. But I wouldn't be, anybody can get, it's like plantar fasciitis. It's not like a genetic thing.
Yeah.
People, you're going to
Like,
get
oh
it.
no, he's gonna get more turf toes. Like we
No,
that's
right,
not
right.
a thing
Guys
that's
get
linked
turf.
together.
Guys
yeah.
get turf toe. I wouldn't be too good.
it's
The
a
elbow,
sprain
I
of the
don't.
ligaments is
What's
what
that?
it's a sprain of the ligaments
Yeah.
surrounding the joint of the big toe is what it
Okay.
technically
Yeah, it's in the
is.
joint.
Yeah.
So anyway, it hurts a lot.
Anyway.
It
I remember
hurts a lot.
Joe saying that
Yeah.
Burrow was like, this is awful.
Right.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
just
no,
need
it
a
is.
better
It's
name
brutal.
for it.
It's brutal.
Yeah, because people are always like, oh, it's just turf toe. Hurry up.
The elbow, I would wonder what that's more about.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Thankfully, he's not going to be a pitcher here. That's good.
Yeah,
news.
but rushing that pass. I
Yeah.
saw he wore, the video I've seen, he's got the
sleeves.
the brace. Even.
brace on it.
The brace
Okay.
on the left arm. So whatever. Guys play with that. It's no big deal. Look, again, it's a 7th rounder, late rounder. You take a flyer.
Yeah.
You say, this kid's got upside. We like everything about him. Maybe he goes higher if he wasn't injured. Maybe he doesn't, but
Yeah.
we're going to give him a shot here and see what he can do.
We were obviously excited
great.
about rookie minicamp last year to get to see Travis Hunter and how they would deploy him and things like
Yeah.
that. I'm just as excited about this group of guys.
Every year.
Probably because I didn't watch many of them in college the way that I watched Travis Hunter in college. And so, yeah, I'm super excited. And we did confirm it as next weekend.
Yeah,
Next
I
Saturday.
want to see Regis. I want to see them all, but I want to see how Regis moves too.
Okay.
Because he's going to be a little undersized, so he's got to have some juice. You know what I mean? He's got to have some shake. He's got to have some kind of hands. You know what I mean? Really quick feet, just because he's going to be called upon, to be pushing that pocket.
Yeah.
He's not little. He's just not, massive.
Yeah.
You know
His
what I mean?
wife, Kaylee, is a really fun follow on X.
Oh, is
and
she?
Twitter.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, she's been very active since he was drafted and things like that.
Good,
Of asking
good.
questions about Jacksonville, but also posting stuff. I'm excited
Good.
to have them here. All right,
Yeah.
time now for Lauren's Lane.
Now, Lauren's Lane. Opened up by Closets by Design. Imagine your home totally organized.
First, a shout out to North Florida Women's Golf. We talked about it on
Oh,
Monday that they would find out yesterday where they'd be headed for the NCAA Championship Regional. They are headed to Tallahassee.
Okay.
Yes, hosted by Florida State. It will be at the Seminole Legacy Golf Club May 11th through the 13th. That is their 5th team NCAA Championship Regional.
All right.
shout out to them.
Congratulations. Shout
yes,
out.
we
Good
will
luck
be
out there.
following along with that in a couple weeks. And then I wanted to talk about Live Golf and say peace
Bye.
out. That's right.
Bye.
Bye, Live Golf. It seems
you
like
later.
their funding has been pulled from Saudi people, the PFF funding. And look, the Arabia Investment Fund, all of those things. When we first started having arguments or discussions about Live Golf, One of my points was, I don't want them to go because it's blood money, but that's just part of it. The other part was, why would people keep putting money in this massive amount of money into something that's not going to be successful? And I guess people could have argued then, how do you know if it's going to be successful?
Yeah.
But it sure felt like they had no momentum for people watching it once it did begin.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone said, well, it doesn't matter if it doesn't have a return on investment. These people have so much money, they don't care. They're just going to keep sinking money into it. Well, it seems like that's been true for about 4 years. And then they finally were like, we're not getting any ROI, which we knew eventually that would happen.
Yeah.
Smart people don't just shell out hundreds of millions of dollars and just watch it float away. They eventually want an ROI.
I may be off. I feel like most like novice golf fans, not the true, or maybe even the true, diehards. But the beautiful thing about golf is the history, like, of the courses that mean something, like the players, like the four
Masters,
the Masters, the British Open. I mean, even here, and this is not a shot on any, tournament other than the Big Five that we know. I don't pay attention. You know what I mean? You win the Tucson Open, I could give to you know what. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like it's so for me, it was like I don't care. I could care less. You're playing in Abu Dhabi or whatever you call it. You're playing some course. I could care less. I wouldn't even watch it.
You would have to play fantasy golf. You personally would have to play fantasy golf and have your money on the line to be able to watch, or to even encourage you to watch more than the majors and
other tournaments.
Yeah, and the players.
Well, and that's what I know, people who are, golf people who watch golf every single weekend, no matter what tournament is on, who in the beginning of this were like, I'm fine with it because it's more golf. So cool, I get to watch more golf, and some of these golfers are going over there, and we're going to see, it was like Rahm and DeChambeau and some of these guys that were being talked about a lot at that time, and they're like, oh, this will be kind of fun. Now that slowly trickled away to where like the golf's not even good. It's not competitive. They're like making up rules. It's not even normal golf rounds. You're starting on every single hole. It's like a lot of chaos into it. And so even true golfers were kind of like, this isn't even fun to watch anymore. JJ being one of those. JJ was one of the ones in the beginning that was kind of like, I don't care. Like, this is kind of fun. We get money for other things from the Saudis. Who cares if golf is getting it? I don't care about that aspect. I get more golf and it's going to be fun. And then I've heard him kind of slowly start to be like, it's not even good golf to watch at this point. And that's so the people who were anti in the beginning have joined now with the other people that were like, it's not even a fun product. And if it's not a fun product, then why is it existing?
Well, the point of golf, what's fun about it is, and it changes lives to win a tournament, right? Or to finish top 10 in multiple tournaments. The type of money that you're getting, because you have to shell out your own money to go to these courses, right? And travel and all that stuff. And so to win, it literally can be life-changing. And to win on Live, it didn't matter. They had already gotten
All their money.
It's 3 rounds, not 4 rounds. They could wear shorts. There were no cuts. Like, none of it mattered. And Rahm, to me, is the worst one, because Rahm's the one, not the worst, I guess the Americans, but Rahm literally told everyone in the world, I am not going to live golf. That would just be a greedy move. I've made enough money in my life. And then a year or two later, turns around and takes the 400, 300, however much money it was, $1 million.
I didn't know it was going to be that much.
Right. And then now only they were offered the olive branch by Brian Rolapp, the executive director of the PGA Tour, and he said to that group of guys, you are welcome to come back until a certain time in February. But these are the restrictions that you'll have to deal with. And only a couple guys decided to come back. So now these guys that it seems like Live is going to just blow up. Now I don't know that the PGA Tour will allow them back under those same situations, those same circumstances.
So maybe you didn't have enough purists that would watch it, because, like, again, novice, like guys, like
casual golf,
definitely not watching.
I'm not watching that. I wouldn't waste my time.
Yeah,
I would on the I love watching.
Even
Sundays
if it
are
was
great
normal
for all
golf, or the same golf that we see on the PGA Tour as far as the rules, I still wouldn't have watched because I was against it from the beginning. But even someone who's not against it, that loves golf, they didn't watch.
Yeah.
Like, that's what the evidence shows. That's why it's not going to receive the funding anymore.
I saw a tweet when this happened, and it was, someone said, look, was Live Golf successful? No. Did it bolster the reputations of everybody involved? Also no. But was it fun? Once again, no.
I agree with all that. It didn't do any of the, set out to do any of the objectives that it did.
And you think about the former commish who basically he was getting death threats because what he did with his decision with the PGA. You know what I mean? And he
Right.
literally
And the PGA
had to
Tour
leave.
has put even more money into its players and the purses and things like that to try and combat.
And that's one of the positives you could take.
Right.
If any, there was any positive, it's that golf was like, oh, there's a competitor now in a sense, and we do have to change some things to make it a little better when it comes to money, for example, for some of these players. And so that's the one positive that you just made this the golf here better. So thank you.
And yeah, we'll see if they end up coming back or not. All right, the golden moment awaits on the other side. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jacksonville's home for Florida Gators baseball.
It's a top 25 matchup and a weekend in Norman, Florida, Oklahoma. Follow the play-by-play Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon on 1010 a.m.
Save up to $400 on Browning gun sales right now at Green Acres Sporting Goods. During the Browning tax refund rebate, get up to $400 back on select safes, built to protect your firearms, valuables, and peace of mind. Green Acres is Northeast Florida's largest Browning dealer, with the selection ready for you today. But don't wait, this offer ends April 30th. Shop now at greenacresporting.com and take advantage before it's gone.
In the game of vehicle performance and reliability, Atlantic Infinity is always the top pick. This is Hayes Carlion. Did you know that every certified pre-owned Infinity is inspected, factory backed, with a limited warranty, and gets the same championship level service as a brand new Infinity? Every mile will feel like first class. Check out their full certified inventory now at AtlanticInfinity.com or visit Atlantic Infinity off Atlantic near St. John's Bluff.
Looking for an exciting, fun-filled evening your whole group can enjoy? Discover the thrill of indoor football. Fast-paced, action-packed, and full of family fun. Be there as your Sharks take on the New Mexico Chupacabra Saturday, May 2nd at the VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Kickoff, 7 o'clock. Don't miss the action-packed halftime performance by Showtime USA. Ask about our family 4-packs. 4 tickets and $50 in food vouchers, all for only $100. To purchase tickets, go to jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. That's 904-621-0700. It's Education Appreciation Night, presented by the University of North Florida. All teachers, administrators, and school staff get our special buy one, get one free ticket deal. Join us on the field after the game for our free autograph session, sponsored by Flight Adventure Park. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours today at 621-0700. That's 621-0700. Sharks football, where memories are made.
Go Sharks! Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
Have you tried a Form energy drink yet? You need to, and it's available at Gate. 4 great tastes, screaming free to Blue Blitz, Orange Fury, and Grape Smash. Form energy, natural flavors, natural caffeine, and electrolytes for hydration are a perfect blend for energy and mental focus. Find it at Gate.
Checkmate. I'm Brendan Cecilia, founder of Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, the Checkmate Chessman.
At most companies, people start on the ground floor and work their way up to the corner office. At Checkmate, I started on the ground floor, and almost 20 years in, that's still where I am, making ground floors look awesome, one garage at a time.
Well, I started as a pawn and worked my way up to king.
No, you didn't. Some guy drew you as a king. I asked them to give you a roller, so at least you look like one of the guys.
Yes, I rather would have preferred a sword.
At Checkmate, I work personally with our teams to perfect the preparation and application techniques that make Checkmate floors beautiful and durable.
And I keep things classy with my adorable accent.
Beautiful floors?
Check. Guaranteed to last?
Check. The finishing touch your home deserves? Checkmate.
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit checkmatecoatings.com.
Ready to join the team? The Jaguars and our stadium partners are hosting a job fair Wednesday, May 20th. We're looking for enthusiastic new faces to serve as ushers, ticket takers, concessionaires, security, and more. Stop by the Prime Osborne Convention Center and apply on May 20th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Professional dress, a pen, and a smile are all you need. There are 1,000 spots to be filled for the 2026 season, so join us and be a part of the Jaguars game day team.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
Golden moment as we spoke to Slade Nagel, the offensive coordinator for Houston earlier, and then Roman Tomashoff of Washington Huskies. And both, we've already seen this yesterday. And so all of the people we've talked to so far, without even asking, without even saying, hey, what type of people are they? All of them have talked about loving the game of football, being good people, whether it's getting over injuries like Zach Durfee and all of the things he went through. Every single one has said that, and we've talked about the intangibles many times here. And so it does seem like they have a type, and that type is the good people and good football players. And that's great. You want to see those wins translate because you want good people, but you also want to win football. So that's what everybody will be waiting to see now. But it was interesting to me to hear, without even having to ask, every single one of the people we've talked to so far has just said it.
Yeah, I'm confident in the fact that they'll have the right kind of guy. I said that before. I just because I know what they're looking for. They know what they're looking for. They know what kind of. It's not even. It's a little bit of everything. Kind of player, kind of person, kind of competitor. Just what fits what they're looking for. Loves football, dedicated, will do anything, will do anything for their teammates. Great teammate, maybe a captain, those kind of things. So, and then when you believe that, which I do, then my next belief is Liam and his staff will coach them up. I mean, they hold these guys accountable. That's way more than half the battle. It just is, when they know what's expected of them every single time they walk in that building, that helps a ton. And so I have confidence in both those. Did they get the picks right? I don't know. We're not going to know until we see them, at least in camp. And then even then, because camp can sometimes be like a mirage, that sometimes things look really good.
Yeah.
And then they look bad and then they end up being good, or vice versa. So, but yeah, I'm confident in both those things. They'll be coached up and they'll all have the right attitude, and that's important.
For sure. Look, I think they have their Duval DNA of what they want, and that's the players that they've selected. Like you said, like both of you have said, like we've all said since the draft happened, whether this roster is better than the roster that finished the season in January, only time will tell.
Yeah.
I don't care how many consensus boards you look at. I don't care how many film or how many games you watch of film at this point in time. None of that matters because none of these guys have played a snap in the NFL. So none of that matters. By the way, I was looking at the mock draft accuracy rankings, and this is done by Fantasy Pros. Pete Prisco, number 7, just behind Lance Zierlein, number 6. So some of the ones that we talked a ton about, Zierlein obviously works for NFL.com and provides a ton of analysis. So anytime we reference what the scouts are saying, usually it's Lance Zierlein who's written it. And of course, Prisco, who knows the Jags well. And then Dane Brugler, number 10, we talk about what he says about players a lot too. So,
next year, those 3 are the consensus.
Yeah. Well, they've got other guys that were a little bit
like
better.
what they say.
Like,
right, exactly.
If,
you got to pick and choose. Well, I think Jags fans will like what Fred Taylor had to say this morning on the drill about Nate Berkacher, who once again will join Jaguars Today tomorrow morning at 10:45. But here is Freddie T on what he thinks Nate can be in the NFL.
Call him that, 87. He reminds me a lot of an 87 that I was a teammate with for 1 year up in New England.
Oh.
Stature-wise, he can catch everything. He has really soft hands. He can run routes. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself and call him Grunk. But like I said, he reminds me of Grunk. Where's 87? They're similar in height and size. And when you look at his film, he really can catch the ball. I mean, he is smooth in his routes, but his hands, they're just so soft like Grunk. And they just remind me of everything that Grunk did when he was a younger player there.
Obviously, Freddie T on with Dan Hicken because you could hear Dan throughout. But yeah, that's a glowing endorsement for someone who played with Rob Gronkowski, obviously, and Fred Taylor. And are we saying that Nate Berkacher is going to be Gronk? Was even Fred Taylor saying that? No, he just said he reminds me of him.
Yeah.
And obviously, Tanner Koziol is Jason Witten, so we're going to be great at the tight end
stacked
position.
offense.
You got Hall of Famers.
That's right.
Well, Gronk, listen, if we get him in the pass catching Gronk, that's icing on the cake,
Absolutely.
But Gronk throws people around. I mean, that's what he does, or did.
For sure.
As a blocker. He was no joke. He could handle a D-end by himself. He could pass block. He could run block, and he was ferocious. That's and those are the kind of guys that that drive defenders crazy. Not only are they good, but they keep trying.
Absolutely.
And they don't stop.
Oh,
And they're
yeah.
pushing you until, they get you on the ground or something. So if he's anything near that as a blocker, oh, man, I'd take that all day long. All day long. And then if the catching is true, like, hey, he only had 19 catches, so you can only go by so much. I guess you could look at all those catches and be like, okay, he can run. I mean, you can tell, you can tell from a highlight film. Now, granted, they're all highlights, so they're going to be good plays. But how they move, how they break, how fast they are, how athletic they are, how strong, physical, first step. You can see a few things on him.
Lance Zierlein did say that he didn't have any drops when he watched his film.
Okay.
That he's had, I don't remember how many touchdowns he had, but anytime he was targeted, he didn't have any drops. So again, that's another plus. Obviously, that was Brenton Strange pretty much last year, but not necessarily everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want drops when it's only been 19 times. That'd be a bad number immediately.
Even one.
Yeah.
That's
good. He's sure-handed, you know. Fred said he has soft hands.
And that's what you want to say about anyone that you expect to catch the ball.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For sure. All right. So total in his career for Nate Berkacher when it comes to touchdowns, he had, talk amongst yourselves. Why don't I
talk
see?
amongst yourselves.
4. He had 4 receiving touchdowns. So it must have been that Lance had watched last year at Texas A&M and saw those 3. I think one of those.
They had 3 last year. That's right.
Yeah. One of those was maybe to beat Notre Dame.
One of them was in a big game at the end.
It was to beat Notre Dame.
might have been.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
Don't
So,
bring that up to Taylor.
sorry.
She's fuming inside. Look at her.
In his career,
That was
Nate
a long
Berkacher
time
had 38 catches. Long time ago, is right. 38 catches with 19 coming last year in totality. All right. One segment to go. Pest of the day on the other side. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Termite swarms are active right now in Jacksonville, and once they get inside, damage can happen fast. Termites don't knock, they silently attack the structure of your home, leaving behind costly repairs and long-term headaches. Protect what you've worked hard for with the proven protection homeowners trust. Terminix, with advanced termite treatment and prevention solutions. Visit Terminix.com and schedule your free termite inspection today.
Hi, this is Dr. George Bari, an orthopedic surgeon who is fellowship trained in sports medicine. If you are a young athlete or a weekend warrior, I treat you with the care and expertise that is needed to diagnose and treat your injury. Come see me at Bari Orthopedics to get the care that you need.
Be sure and check out the expertise from Dr. George Bari and the entire staff at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com. And follow Doc on Instagram at Dr.GeorgeBari.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
When your home or business deserves more than ordinary glass, you trust the experts. Capital Glass and Shower Doors has been elevating spaces for over 40 years with precision, craftsmanship, and clean, modern design. From sleek frameless shower enclosures to elegant glass railings, wine cabinets, and any custom glass that makes a statement, Capital Glass delivers unmatched quality, service, and attention to detail. Your vision, their expertise. Capital Glass and Shower Doors at capcoglass.com.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. One of the biggest changes we've seen in fine jewelry over the last 25 years has been the growth of jewelry designers. At Underwoods, we're the leader, bringing to North Florida the best names in designer jewelry. In fact, we carry designer lines in a similar way to how clothing stores carry designer labels. The difference is that jewelry designers have to be a little more timeless in their presentations because nobody wants to buy a fine piece of jewelry only to find out the next year it's gone out of style. That's why you'll find at Underwoods the best of the jewelry designer names, those that are tried and true and popular. Names like David Yerman, Roberto Coin, John Hardy, Marco Bichigo, Jude Francis, Lagos, Hippolyta, and a lot more are all available right now at Underwoods. So if you want the best looks in designer jewelry, stop by Underwoods. San Marco, Avondale, or the shops of Ponte Vedra.
For the greenest, luscious lawn on the block, choose the local legends, Roundtree Sod. Don't just settle for ordinary. Let Roundtree Sod deliver you a picture-perfect lawn. To get a free estimate, call 7414-SOD. 7414-SOD.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. Time now for today's Pest of the Day, brought to you by our friends at Terminix. You can find them online at Terminix.com. That's TERMINIX.com. It is termite season. Make sure that your house is protected from those. Also about to be mosquito season. You do not want those. So our friends at Terminix can help you with that. They do a great job taking care of ViStar Ballpark, ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, and all of your favorite event venues around town. Shout out to Taylor Dahl for the assist with this Pest of the Day. Anthony Lima, he is known as Sports Boy Tony on X. He had Mary Kay Cabot on. Everyone pretty much who knows the NFL knows Mary Kay Cabot. She's a Hall of Fame professional or pro football writer at Hall of Fame. Yep, she's covered the Cleveland Browns for over 30 years, and she does a fantastic job. We've had her on the show, of course,
she's
before,
fantastic.
talking all things Browns. And she joined, like I said, Sports Boy Tony, Anthony Lima, to discuss the Browns quarterback situation. Here were her words, or here's her quote. "I think they should declare Deshaun Watson QB1 ASAP and let the first team offense start to cook. There's no time to waste," end quote. So Cleveland.com put that out on social because that's what they want to do, like we do around these parts as well. And Shadur Sanders' brother, Shiloh Sanders' comment on Instagram is what caught everyone's attention. Good old Shiloh said, "Go make a sandwich, Mary."
He's insane.
He's supposed to say, "Go make me a sandwich."
He just said, "Make a
He
sandwich."
missed the whole line. Would have been much funnier if he
Yeah, I just, number one, we had already been hearing through this time multiple reporters out of Cleveland talking about how Deshaun was taking over. He was getting the majority of 1 reps. He was looking better than the other quarterbacks. So this wasn't new information in her just reporting, hey, I think they should do this and lean into a quarterback and figure something out. Because what's been the issue with the Browns for as long as we can remember is the quarterback. So if you have the chance, and we talked about this the other day, the chances of getting that Deshaun Watson we saw back in 22 or 1, I don't remember what year it was.
It was 2020 was the last
2020.
time he was good.
Then I don't know how close you're getting to that, but if you feel like this is the first time there's not all of this crazy drama and he's healthy and you think that's what it is, and reports seem to be signaling that, you're reporting saying, hey, let's just pick a quarterback and go move forward. And right now he's taking the majority of 1 reps. And I hate that. That's one of my biggest. Guys will do it on the text line sometimes and on Twitter. They'll like go bake a cake and go make a sandwich. I'm like, first of all, I actually enjoy to cook, so you're not hurting my feelings telling me to go cook something. Sorry you can't cook on your own, but so it just bothers me. But I'm like, also you have like mega nepotism and you still can't make it in the NFL. So go worry about yourself for a second.
That's right.
Mega nepotism. I love that. Yeah. I feel like the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, for the most part, is saying positive things or arguing with us and things like that.
About football.
But every now and again, whether it's on X or Twitter or if it's on the text line, then they'll throw in one of those sexist comments and we just kind of laugh and move along.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry if you guys got offended by that. I guess I didn't think of it that way. I just think
You weren't telling us to go make you a sandwich.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, the whole thing. The whole fascination, like, you got to defend Shadur Sanders at every moment is weird. It's like, why? Who cares? He's Deion's son. So what? Great. Maybe he wins the job. Maybe he doesn't. By the way, $46 million might be the deciding factor because that's what they owe Deshaun Watson this year. $46 million base salary in 2026. So, listen, my boss Jimmy Haslam's like, yo, I'm not putting out $46 million for a dude that ain't gonna be on the field. Yeah. But this whole thing, like, well, I don't know, it's weird. It's like even last year, like they don't like him, or Stefanski's against him, blah blah blah. Listen, maybe he's just not good enough. I'm not saying he's terrible. Right. I mean, he wasn't terrible last year, and he was exciting a little bit. I get that, but that might not be sustainable. And for you to sit there on the outside, and even Shiloh, whoever, you're not there. Yeah. You're not watching it day to day. Maybe Watson is looking pretty darn good. And maybe with the money involved, they're like, you know what? If this guy's anywhere, if they're even we're going Watson because we owe him all that money.
Same with like
You know.
NIL in college. If you're paying one
Same
quarterback
thing.
way more,
Yeah.
a lot of times your proclivity is to go there. Look, I think Shiloh Sanders is just jealous because Mary Kay Cabot's still involved in the NFL,
And
he
he's
was
not.
He was
Yeah.
cut by the
Right.
Bucks.
Yeah, he was
because he was an
waived.
undrafted player who was cut. Yeah,
And he
last-
threw a
before
punch
the
and got
season.
kicked out of a preseason or
Yeah,
one
he
of the
did.
early
He
games
did.
or
Yeah,
something
he
like
did.
that,
He
and then
did.
they waived him because that's
Okay, good. I thought Shador said that. I'm glad it wasn't
No,
him.
it
I
was
thought he
Shiloh.
said it.
No, if it was Shador, this
and that's
would
what I was like.
have received
Shador
more
honestly
Right,
might be
right.
kind of mad about that because he's like,
Right.
this woman covers my career,
Yeah.
and that like this is the person that's going to be reporting. She's their main reporter, and this is the person that I have to work with on a daily basis. And now you're getting involved in this and making it a personal.
Show some respect.
Yeah.
Well, and clearly she's hearing or seeing herself that,
Yeah.
that Watson
He's
looks
winning the
better.
job.
So
Yeah.
For sure.
give it to him.
All right, let's say hello to the Fringe Show.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
This may be a tough question, but who are you more excited about? Wesley Williams, the edge, or Zach Durfee, the edge? Like, and I mean rookie minicamp, things like that.
Yeah, Wesley Williams, just
Okay.
because I always get wrapped up in the guy that was selected ahead of the other guy. So it's rare that I'll pick
You're
the
such a
seventh rounder.
consensus
I'm the
boarder.
consensus board. I gotta have a consensus board.
He did
but,
change his fantasy name to Consensus
I
Board,
did,
by the way,
yeah.
last night.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
you go.
So
Yeah.
great. Did you
Always
see
want
it?
to
I was like, you
pounce
better
on the hot item.
You better draft Carson back in the first round then of
Hey.
this draft.
Consensus
We'll
board.
do whatever it takes to defend the title.
Actually, wouldn't it be Ty Simpson that he'd have to draft first?
Well, I'm
right?
just saying way over draft, way
Right,
reaching.
right,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's obviously excited about both. Wesley, the special teams is
Absolutely.
I've never
Block
heard
kicks,
of anything
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I mean, 5 in a college career, and particularly with 4 being field goals. Like,
2 were in one game against Clemson.
yeah,
Yeah.
boy, that must
Clyde
have been.
Simmons was like that for us. He was
Yeah.
he would always
Yeah.
block. He'd throw him
Yeah.
right in the middle there.
But yeah, excited for both. Obviously, it'll be a while before we can really make any sort of judgment on them. That's you gotta have the pads on.
Yeah.
But
we
you know,
have to right now. We have to make judgments right now. in
But
order
like
to
rookie
satiate.
mini camp, next weekend will be fun, and looking forward to seeing the tight ends and how they can get down the field, catch the football, things like that. The receivers, obviously, Cameron won't do anything, but yeah, so it's fun. Hopefully. It'll be a good class, I mean, I think it was a terrible draft just overall. And I think they just were like, look, let's just get some role players in here. We're probably not going to find a bunch of guys heading to Canton in a class like this when you're picking 56th. But it does put pressure on them in 27 because now you got to get back to finding guys in the draft that have superstar potential.
Yeah.
And it looks like that draft will line up much better for that than this one did. So we'll certainly talk about that coming up on the Frangie Show. We'll get into some golf. Lee Smith will join us for what I'm assuming will be the greatest victory lap that we've ever seen in 1010XL history, as we all delight in the demise of the Live Tour. So that'll be a lot of fun. But obviously, the PGA Tour has a signature event going on, the Cadillac Championship in Miami, and Cameron Young, unbelievable round today.
Cam.
I don't know where he finished. He was at like 8 under going to the final hole. And Spieth was at 7 under.
He finished 8 under, and Spieth finished 7 under.
That's
so,
great.
And then you've got Alex Smalley, who's still on the course. He's about to finish, and he's also 7 under.
And then you got like Scotty Scheffler, who last I saw was 1 under with 1 hole to play. So you just know that means that he'll shoot 64 tomorrow, 66 on Saturday, and 67 on Sunday and win.
Yeah, it is a fun leaderboard. You've got Gary Woodland, who finished 4 under. You've got Ricky Fowler, who's on the course only through 7, who's 4 under.
Wow,
so,
hot start.
There's a throwback for him. But yeah, all good stuff. All right, thanks so much,
Thank
Hayes.
you.
Looking forward to it. We will certainly be listening. That'll do it for us today. We got Friday tomorrow, y'all.
We do.
on. It starts right now, Friday.
Okay.
Happy Hour Thursday's really the start of
Pre-Friday.
Friday. That's the way I look at it.
Here we go.
Yeah.
For Taylor Dahl, for the already on Happy Hour weekend, Tom McManus, for
Happy
RJ
weekend,
Saunders.
everybody.
I'm Lauren
See you
Brooks.
tomorrow.
We will work tomorrow. Tomorrow is
Oh, yeah.
Friday. But don't go anywhere. The Frangie Show is next.